Welcome to the DSQ podcast with Blake Lawson and Dakota Reynolds.
That was actually fantastic. Craziness, but fantastic. 3 DNFs on the first lap and McLaren finishing P2. Fantastic Indy 500. Now, on to the Monaco Grand Prix. Hello. Welcome.
If I had a nickel.
For every race today that had 3 DNFs on the first lap and a McLaren finishing P2. Have 2 nickels. Not a lot. Weird that it happened twice.
Yes. Welcome to the Monaco week.
Monaco! Whoa. I was like, everyone... I feel like I'm getting ahead of myself here. Everyone gets excited for Monaco, myself included. It's not a very exciting race. It's very much a tradition race, but you can't help but be excited for that point in the year. We're fully into the year now. We're past the quarter of the way point, so we have the entire season opened up to us. What teams are going to improve, what teams are already on the upswing. It's Monaco, baby. Spend your money here.
Yeah.
The race is money.
There we go. By the way, we would like to welcome, just in case he is coming across, our special guest, the cricket in the other room that won't shut up. Special guest this week.
Yeah, fantastic. It's some nice background noise. That's actually just the drone of my brain just trying to process life. Anyways.
First thing I guess what I was going to bring up first was, and it leads into Monaco being a traditions race, the traditional livery for McLaren this week.
It's corn!
It's yeah, I guess.
I saw that on TikTok somewhere.
It's a lot of things. It's Sprite. it's Brazil, obviously.
It's Brazil. No, I saw the corn. I was like, yep, that is it. That is the McLaren livery. It is corn.
I saw it was like that's Subway versus Ferrari's McDonald's, which is always great.
God.
But of course, McLaren very much the best meme I saw was the Simpsons slapping on the back of the head. Now that's how you do a special livery.
Right? There you go.
So much better. My note for it is a kissy face and then the Italian hand. It's just nah.
Mwah.
Like I said, I am glad it is only a one-off though.
Yeah.
That'd be annoying.
Yeah. My papaya.
That's about it. Do we want to talk about the quick little F2 news? Or the F2 event of what could have been an absolute destruction in the tunnel and proof that F Formula drivers are superhuman with that the agile reaction time.
I could do that. I could race in that. You go watch the footage. You probably have like the drivers or whatever pulled up, but I was like...
not who was slow, just it was Hajar.
Okay. Yeah.
And,
go look that up if you have not seen it. One of the cars was losing power, and so
in the tunnel,
it just so happened to be losing power in the tunnel. Had no drive, going super slow. Like we're talking, like probably less than highway speeds, slow. And
like entering the pit.
Hajar comes around the corner, going super fast, full speed. He's on a lap. He takes that corner to the right, as you do in the tunnel. Hey, suddenly there's a car. He's instantly over to the left side of the track. Kept it out of the wall and everything. Pretty much kept on his lap, too. Fucking superhuman.
He needs to... Lawrence needs to hire him to teach Lance how to drive, apparently.
Yes, oh my god.
Because there's no way Lance would have... Yeah, Lance would have been in that gearbox.
Yep. There would be 2 people that might not be racing this weekend if it was Lance.
Gotcha. I was like, you have anything? I was like, we kind of didn't pay attention too much to the free practices, really.
No, absolutely not.
Besides, I mean, more Red Bull struggles. The only real note I have in FP3 in the race is Valtteri basically going sideways and blocking the entire track. And just not being able, breaking the right suspension, where he just couldn't turn to make the radius.
Oof. Big oof. That just sounds like quality of parts, maybe.
Yep. The other thing of note to me for Free Practice 3 was, and I don't know if they did it during FP1 and 2, they were just all over Jack Doohan in his apartment. Like, you have doxed an F1 driver's home officially on F1 TV.
Yes, but are you going to be going to Monaco anytime soon?
No, but if I do, I know a place to break into and crash. If I do it race weekend, he's reserve driving or he's on F1 TV. So,
I mean, there's probably a security detail.
for legal purposes, this is a joke.
Foreshadowing is a literary device.
Yeah, so they were just all over. Like, he was literally just in his balcony with a microphone and a camera. At one point, Buxton walks through the pit building, and you can see him, and it's pretty good. The only other good piece is, I have a note was, and this is a go rewatch the highlight if you missed this. About 50 seconds left in FP3, there's a transition from an onboard, following behind with Max in the tunnel section, and then goes onto the onboard as he leaves, and it's just a beautiful piece. Just good direction, and that was the only exciting thing for the entire race.
That was the excitement for the weekend. Well,
No.
it was most of the excitement for the weekend.
Quali.
Quali, I mean, there's some specialness of Quali, but that's later on.
I mean, that's the only note I have for Quali.
That's the only note you have for Quali. It's probably the only thing I have for Quali other than it's a Quali. Hey, Charles qualified P1.
Yeah.
Max didn't qualify in the first row. Qualified P6. Wow, they really do hate bumps on the track.
Haas made it to Q3. Or Q2, sorry.
You thought.
Yeah. And then probably the biggest thing, which is our first namesake of the podcast of the season.
A DSQ!
A double DSQ.
Double DSQ!
Haas was over on their DRS maximum allowance in the top rear wing. 85 centimeters. I believe it was on the cusp of 86 is what I heard. So it was that close, but close enough. So
Yep. It's over.
Oh, well. That sucks for Haas. I'm sure it won't get any worse for Haas this weekend.
Haas will be fine. They can recover from that.
Oh, hey, it's race day.
It's race day. It's still technically race day.
It is still technically race day.
What
Yeah,
a
we actually get to
race.
record on race day because we're not under the gun for tornadoes.
We're not under the gun for tornadoes. It's my family that's under the gun for tornadoes, so,
It's a little further south. Yeah, I was like, we still have an honest meeting.
Oh,
over
yeah,
there.
it's still way...
We're fine.
It's still off a little bit. Of course, that's the extra stuff that's coming from, like, Arkansas or whatever, so... Yeah.
Do you want to go over stuff before we get into the race, the like upgrades and stuff? Or?
Yeah, sure, why not? There weren't a whole
Makes no
lot
sense.
that were, like... I really didn't put a whole lot on the upgrades this week, because it's a tradition. Monaco, pretty much everyone comes with circuit-specific stuff. There were a few little, like, regular upgrades sprinkled in for a couple of the teams, but that's just par for the course. Power units. There were no gearbox replacements this week. There might be next week. This week,
Probably
just
a
new
new
power
car
units.
entirely for
Well, new power unit stuff. So there was a new energy store for Max, so woo. And then a new energy store and new control electronics for the two Haas cars.
Oh, good.
I'm glad they'll be able to use the extra performance to do well in the race, where overtaking is naturally hard.
Where's that? Wait.
Wait,
Sorry, I
what?
was checking up a statistic on something.
Oh, nice.
I did want to point out, Max did not replace his headrests under Parc Fermé this week.
Oh, you know what? That's the one thing I didn't check was
Yep.
the extra stuff. Oh.
Yep, he did not.
Oh, well, there you go.
On the Parc Fermé changes that were all approved, Alpine got Gasly got a new front wing assembly.
I think he's going to need another one.
Was that? I was looking
That was
at
it.
it.
Okay. You were looking for the Max thing.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, I forgot to look into that one. I made a mental note of it, and I forgot to go back into it. Oh, well. C'est la vie.
Alright, I guess we'll stop teasing around it. It's Monaco.
It's Monaco. We go to 5 red lights. It's
And-
lights out, and what happens?
Yep.
So, first off, we're thinking, one instant, it's signs he's went
Yep.
off, and we were talking before the race because Crofty, I think it was Crofty, it was either Crofty or Brundle that brought it up. They were like, what can Carlos Sainz to do to influence his teammates' race? And I was like, crash within the first 13 seconds. Sure enough, going into like turn 3 or 4.
It was 1.
Was it turn 1?
It was
No.
turn 1.
No, it was not. It was not turn 1. Well, the incident was turn 1. Him going off.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Was
yeah,
turn
correct.
3 or 4.
The contact was turn 1.
Yes.
The contact with Oscar was
We're
turn
both
1.
correct. We're just thinking of different parts of the incident. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Turn 1, contact. Turn 3 or 4 goes off. Like, you can see the sparks and stuff pop up. The lock up. All right, he's off the track. Wow.
He's got a puncture. That sucks.
He's
He's
sucks
out
for
of the
him.
race.
He's probably out of the race, or at the very least, is like he's gonna have to make it back around and pit and do all this stuff. A red flag. Why would you red flag that? I was like, surely you can. Like, he's enough out of the way that you. Oh.
Well, no, I wanted
Okay.
how it actually happened. Us 2 live is, of course, we have multi-viewer up, and we're watching the track map as well, because we have like 4 drivers up on one screen, timing, investigations, track map up, all the good multi-viewer stuff, and we notice a little thing that's 4 cars that are stopped in turn 3, turn 4, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
Going up the hill, basically.
Yeah. We're like, okay, it's got to be. I was like, I know they're talking about they were having GPS issues yesterday. Like, there's a dead spot. I'm sure that's what it was. And then Joe starts moving. and then the flags. And then
Oh.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah. So, turn 2, 3, whatever. I don't know the turns on though. I know turn 1 is Saint Devat, and that's about it.
For sure, it's kind of the same thing. Of incident started in turn 2 and kind of went through
Just kind
3
of
and
went.
4.
Yeah. So, Perez, who also bad qualifying, out
Really
in
bad
Q1.
qualifying. Yeah.
Okay, out in Q1, so he's back in the back. Really bad start to the race. Either that or Haas had a decent start to the race.
A little A,
I think.
little B.
Yeah, I was like A and B. I was like, I'm pretty sure Magnussen like sent it into Saint Devat. And I was like, you don't want to do that, but Perez starts squeezing Magnussen over, but he leaves him the space, but not a whole lot. Magnussen pretty much runs out of room, clips the wall, clips into Perez, takes Perez with him. Perez takes Nico with him by just a little bit. Poor Nico is getting the Charles Leclerc luck.
Yeah.
I was like, he was just an innocent bystander on this one. And then Joe's just watching it all happen, like, what
And
are
Joe
you guys
just has
doing?
to drive through without getting a puncture in the metric millions of dollars of carbon that is just strewn across the Monaco streets.
And then,
That
go ahead.
I was gonna say, it was just that Red Bull is just. It didn't seem like that big of a crash caused that much damage. Like, it was real destroyed.
Yeah, it was just both of the suspensions broke and just folded it up underneath. I saw a joke on Reddit that was like, turned it into a pod racer.
Yeah.
So while that's going on, and people have already went around the corner from that, because, again, this is very back of the pack. Everyone's made it around that corner. They made it around the hairpin. We're getting ready to go into the tunnel. Alpine decides to play Rocket League.
So technically 4 DNFs in lap 1.
Yeah, 4 DNFs, but
We thought
3 in 1 incident. These Alpine drivers, I swear, they're gonna murder each other.
I do have a note that it's Esteban hits Gasly. Side note, Rocket League. Then my next note is Lance also taps him because Lance doesn't know how to brake.
Go figure.
Which he does also do. He does hit, which Lance actually did something good today, and he didn't crash.
Woo!
Um,
We'll get to that.
But yeah, for that little maneuver on his team, which his teammate still got into the points, so Gasly was able to recover to that. We will be getting of course, we are a week off, and then over to Montreal. 5-place grid drop.
They were not messing around with that.
Yeah, and neither was Bruno Famin.
Yeah.
Which, here's my hot take. I don't think he needs... Back up a second. Esteban fucked up. Real bad.
That he did. Sent
And
it on that corner on his own team.
Honestly, I'm really excited to have Jack doing race in Canada with Gasly, because God, that should be what happens if he's serious. But man, I don't think he's a good. I don't think Bruno Famin's a good F1 race or team principal. I don't think he gets it.
I mean, yeah, fair. But at the same time, I was like, cut to Ferrari from a year or two ago with Binotto giving Charles the lecturing finger. But, to be fair...
Well, it's not even in this.
Who's not in F1 now?
You look at Alpine as a whole, and I just think they fucked up. So the entire, from top to bottom, needs a complete restructure.
I mean...
Again.
Sure, but also, is that a team principal doing, or is that a... Hey, we really didn't pay attention to these regulations, and we really screwed this up?
Well, he's Famin's only in there because he was in the organization. It's who Renault was like, yeah, just you go. So,
Yeah, fair.
that being said, hey Andretti, go buy him. That's my take. I want on record that he should not be an F1 team principal.
The French helping the Americans out again.
We'll do it every now and then. But yeah, honestly, if his comments should be taken seriously, of course, I'm sure it's more in reference to looking at the team after this season, because both drivers are obviously out of contract at the end of this season. I would really like to see Jack. For Canada, we see Jack in an Alpine, and we see Ollie in the Haas. Like K-Mag, because let's be honest, he probably should have got a penalty for this, for the turn 1 lap 1 incident.
I can see both sides of it being Magnussen's fault and also it being a racing incident. Because there really wasn't a whole lot of room for him to work with. Like, he had about a millimeter of space and then nothing. So, I get it, but also...
But it shouldn't be turn 1, fucking go wild.
No, it shouldn't, but...
Same point as, I'm bringing up a point of which I made last year of all the turn 1 incidents with George and Lewis always getting away with turn 1, lap 1 incidents. And I guess even if you want to take a look, it matters on the drivers. All of them are veteran drivers. They've all raced Monaco before.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So let K-Mag take a seat. Let's get Ollie some more time in the F1 seat.
Yeah. We'll show him his seat this year or this next year.
Yep. So yeah, and that was it.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Nothing else happened.
Nothing happened. I did make the note that I mentioned. So we were joking at the start of this week. Then Max made a deal with Charles, being the Monegasque boy himself, is like basically like, if you will keep, because supposedly Jos was supposed to be there this weekend. Jos Verstappen, Max's dad, former F1 driver, known alleged abuser. I say alleged, so I won't be sued, but my opinions are based in...
May or may not have left a child at a gas station.
My opinions are based on factual information, so I'm just
maybe a mechanic with 4 holes in his wrist or palm somewhere.
Anyways, before we get sued out of our ass, basically, dude was like, hey, if you will keep Jos out of Monaco, I'm gonna not try this weekend. And let me just say, I didn't see Jos on TV, and usually they make it a point of showing him whenever he's there. So
yeah, I was like, what was the stat you said like a couple hours ago? That they showed partners of Formula 1 drivers more than they showed overtakes.
They had overtakes. I was like, it was like 7-5.
Yeah.
There were more cutaways. Yeah, more cutaways to... It wasn't even that they showed overtakes. It was there were more cutaways to the partners of the drivers than there were overtakes in the race. It's a little bit weird, but also I was like, yeah, I guess I kind of get it a little bit.
What is this, in the NFL? We're not part of that camp.
No.
We don't care. Team Taylor.
We did see 2 overtakes that were really good and smart-headed by both Lance Stroll and Logan Sargent.
Yeah.
I was like, both of them...
To just prove this is not a normal race weekend.
Yeah. I was like, smart moves. Now, I will note that I joked earlier, Lance really did impress me. He kept it out of everything, the walls, the people, everything else, other than the one little failed to brake incident for that.
Which, I mean, that was very
He's up in the air. Okay, so he kept it out of the wall and everything. He didn't end up in the Turn 1 mess. Raced decent. Got a very smart overtake because he did the whole switchback off of, I think, St. Devat. And he still managed to lose a place in the Grand Prix. Oh, my God. Oh, this kid. How old is he? Can I call him a kid?
Yeah, I mean, he's still a kid. He still looks like a kid.
Yeah, true. Oh, good grief.
He needs his end of the season facial hair like he did last year. Let's go ahead and get that going.
Yeah, get it going now. Start performing better.
Yeah.
That's 2 points of arrow.
Yeah, no, it's like the same reason the golf cart or golf ball's dimpled because it creates turbulent air and it travels faster. It's the facial hair.
I mean, Lando.
Yeah.
Lando got facial hair and he started doing well and then won his first. So I've also seen we had Lando win his first race. We had Charles. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself, but hey, just in case you didn't watch, Charles won. Charles finally won his home Grand Prix. Yay!
In fact, both the Leclerc boys won. Got one, two for Leclerc's.
Oh, that's one of my favorite jokes from this weekend.
It's definitely the highlight of the weekend.
Yeah, Piastri. I was like, I'm sure I could find a way to be Monegasque, and Charles was like, I could adopt you. F1 ran with it because a bunch of their FP1 graphics and stuff had Piastri Leclerc on it. That's absolutely great. Anyways, back to the. Oh God! Back to the
point. I was like,
what was the point?
That was your point, so I don't know.
Fuck. we were talking about. Okay. So we had Lando win, and then we had Charles win his home Grand Prix. What's next? Nico on the podium? Yeah. Well, he might. It is very possible he might not have Magnussen to screw him up next week.
Yep.
But also,
Ollie.
It is still a Haas. But apparently, and I still didn't look that up before we started.
Got it.
Thank you. Right. Thank you for planning ahead there for me, or planning side by side with me. The Canadian Grand Prix last year, supposedly, he qualified. Wow, that was very orange.
Yeah. Hey, one person led the entire race. Can you guess who it was?
Orange, not papaya. Wow, yeah, Nico Hulkenberg qualified P2. So, hey, he could do it. What happened?
Rain.
Rain? That's what screwed him up?
Yep.
Okay.
He just happened to get there. Also, on the thing of, we're in the yearly Sergio forgets how to drive a car. Sergio Perez and Lance Stroll made contact into the wall in Q2.
Of all the people you could pick. But anyways, yeah. Charles won. Yay! They cut to the radio for telling him, it was like, we did it! We won!
That's rude.
That was a great message from earlier on. He scrimped a scrumpt of yes that had equal but opposite energy to his scream from France 2022 when he ended up into the wall and couldn't get it going again. And I was so happy for him. I was like, since I saw him get pole, I have been doing nothing but sending him the best of vibes to win this race. And oh my God, he has finally done it. He's broken the curse. The curse has been lifted.
So I have an announcement.
Oh boy.
I'm starting my villain era. Because I'm not going to be able to watch P1 Matt and Tommy for at least like 3 more races. Because Matt's going to be fucking-sufferable.
Absolutely, he will be. I still haven't seen...
I was like, the tweets, videos out for today, I'm just probably not going to watch it. So, I'm now going to be Charles' biggest hater from now on.
God.
Not because of Charles.
Not because of Charles.
And definitely not because of Sainz. You know, I'm cheering for Sainz a lot this season just because fuck Ferrari for doing that.
Fuck Ferrari for doing that. Also, the man does deserve a seat.
Absolutely. A good seat.
Give him Checo's seat.
Well, Checo will have his resurgence, or he won't. That'll be the thing. It's like, if Checo has his resurgence again, he's fine. If he doesn't, Yuki.
Yuki! I mean, hey, as much as I don't want to recall signs to Toro Rosso, at the same time, Yuki has put in work.
Yeah.
He has put in serious
Another
work.
points finish today.
Yeah.
His one radio message, and it was not even, didn't curse in it. It was, go ahead and push. He's like, that's what I like to hear.
Love it.
It's like, that's all.
Love the kid.
So yes, I'm starting my villain era for Charles. So, because I'll be honest, this race did piss me off.
I will let you have your rant.
Yeah,
stage
here's
here.
my rant. Because it's just, here's my line. I was thinking, it's like, it wasn't a race. It was a parade,
Pretty much.
and there was 5 overtakes, 2 of which were back of the field. Really didn't do anything. Like, and then the safety car on the thing strategy didn't matter. So it was just a parade. It was like no one took any risks, nothing. But
To be fair, there wasn't really a whole lot of risk to need to be taken because of the whole red flag incident. I was like, usually you would have a little bit of pit turmoil. Hey, are they going to get the overcut? Hey, are they going to get the undercut? We didn't see a whole lot of pit stops because that lap 1, everyone just switched over to hards and just took it the rest of the race.
yep. And then everybody it was managing tires, and no one pressured anybody past that. And,
Talk about managing tires. George Russell.
yeah.
Jesus. there was first through fourth, and then there was George Russell.
Yeah. No, that was the thing, and you definitely saw it during the race, and then I saw it as a post going through later today. There's 3 races, but not really. It was just 3 packs of just group. So not exciting, and then I don't want to be the ones that's like, oh, Monaco sucks. I was like, it wasn't exciting.
Yeah, I mean, it's very much something that I mentioned earlier. It's exciting that it happens. It's very traditions and whatnot. But it is not a very exciting race. It's very hard to overtake. The streets are wide enough basically for 2 cars, and that's it. And there are like maybe 4 spots where you can try to overtake, 5 if you're ballsy. But yeah, there's not a whole lot of room for overtaking at this track. So there's not a whole lot of racing. It's a lot of make sure your tires can go to the end. Make sure you don't do dumb stuff like Kevin Magnussen or Esteban Ocon. And
then I was like, last year we had a rain.
Stay awake.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rain really spiced things up.
Yeah, we had nothing. So, just a very long driver's parade for me.
Pretty much. Someone mentioned a while back, like a few races ago on Reddit, it's like, just give everybody special like liveries or whatever. Make it look like the old school stuff. It's just like, if you want it to be a parade, if you want to race this parade, make it look good. And absolutely. I was like, you've already gone.
I mean, that's what Monaco is. It's the
beautiful,
bougie
picturesque,
race.
like, yeah, look good race. I was like, you already got the freaking firefighters who, wow, that helmet, beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
So that should be a new requirement. Every marshal at every race has to have their own kind of version of that.
Yeah.
Like, obviously make it unique and cool, but
Texas has cowboy hats.
Yeah. Cowboy hats and bandana drop downs, face shields, yeah. God. Canada is a Mountie hat. Moose antlers, never mind.
Moose antlers. Oh, God.
And just, scarves because it's negative 600.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, come on. It's the fancy steak and shake. We noticed that this week. That was our fun thing. There was the Smash Steak Burger and Shake franchise has a upscale, same company, but an upscale version in France and in Monaco right on the track. So next to the world's most expensive Planet Sushi.
I was going to say, the Planet Sushi has some competition now.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, it's disappointing, but I've calmed down now, and I won't go on my full rant on it. That's why we don't record immediately after. That's why we wait. 1, in case anything shakes down weird, and 2, it was a chance to process better and see what comes up. And
yeah,
like I said, yeah. My driver of the day vote definitely was part of my villain era start. I voted for Oscar.
I mean, he was definitely up there for me. Am I going to vote him?
He's Monegasque at home too,
But no, I definitely did put it for Charles.
When Charles going to win? I swear the first one came up, he was at 40, and then he won by 32. So there was something that cut down on it. It was the Valtteri people again.
The Valtteri people, or it was Team LH.
Yeah. Team LH. Woo, yeah, we did such a good pit stop maneuver there. I guess that was the only strategy that didn't work out, was not backing up Max.
Yeah, no kidding.
3 stars? Were we doing something backwards this week, or was that last week?
I think it was just last week.
Okay. I mean,
we had the very
oh yeah
weird ones for.
So we went 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go first, and my 3rd star is Charles Leclerc.
Okay. Well, we're gonna share that because mine's also Charles Leclerc. Yeah.
Again, mine was part of my whole villain thing.
Well, I mean, I've definitely got an oddball one in here. So.
I do too. You want to go first with your 2 then? Or unless you want to say anything more.
Well,
I feel like there's nothing much to do with Charles. Like, he finally won his race.
Yeah,
he's probably still awake at this hour, fucking partying.
Oh, absolutely.
Poor Leo. Leo just wants to nap. I hope
right.
Leo's in a nice little safe little container.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he's not anywhere close by.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, but he won. Woo! He broke the streak. Woo! Yeah, that's all I got. I had a very, very difficult time picking my 3 stars this week because there wasn't a whole lot that went on. I was like, if I wanted to do it just by like people gaining places, losing places and stuff, I mean, sure, that's an option, but then I'm putting Joe, Valtteri, and Fernando as my 3 stars. And I don't know that they really did anything particularly great. They all finished 2 laps down.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the other thing. We had like main group and talking to the 3 groups. It was basically by lap too. It was like everybody in the lead lap, the 1 lappers, and then the 2 lappers. Yeah. My 2nd star is actually Valtteri. Because he did get 4 spots.
He did get 4 spots.
They're 4 DNFs. But he didn't start at the back, so those 4 spots weren't. And they did a good pit stop, and it was just a quiet race.
It was a quiet race.
He did I think he actually did better than Joe did. Joe had a quiet race too, but
I mean,
Joe got passed by Logan Sargent. I can't give it to Joe.
Passed by Logan Sargent.
So,
to be fair to Joe, I was like, he didn't exactly have the opportunity on lap 1 to try to gain any positions because he was sort of caught behind the lap 1
He was
incident.
witness to that.
Yeah. He was the camera.
Yeah.
Well, my 2nd star is Alex Albon. Yeah, sure, a little bit of bias in there, but he scored the first points for Williams. He had an excellent quali that put him up into position to keep those points in there. And while, yes, it is very difficult to overtake in Monaco, it's by far not just hey, you got there, it's done. You do have to actually actively keep your position. As I said earlier, it's like we've got people who did overtakes. We have Lance Stroll, who lost a position. You do still have to put in a little bit of work for it. But kept into it, kept his position. Williams now has points for the year. Now if only we can get Logie out of P21.
Yes. Which we have Jack doing next week and make it worse for him. Can you do your 1 star? Because I think I might have to change something. Also, can I borrow your notebook for a second? I want to check something.
I can. Okay. So my 1st star is actually going to be the marshalling crew and firefighters from Monaco, the actual Monegasque like marshals and everything. Put in excellent work on that lap 1 incident. Got everything cleaned up, track completely cleared, track repaired because there was damage to the guardrail. Everything in safe working order very quickly. Like we were sitting there thinking this is going to be a
45-minute.
Yeah, 45-minute, hour-long delay. No,
especially there was just such a spread of carbon.
Yeah,
like it was just everywhere. It was like a tornado went through.
Yeah. The great Monegasque tornado of 2024. Yeah, no, I mean, it was only, 30 minutes, maybe?
If that. Like, I feel like they got a bulk of it, too, and I think they just, I think a lot of the wait was, one, they had to repair the 1 guardrail.
Yep.
But it was just waiting to clear the first car so they could clear the second car.
Yeah.
So, I guess the third car, too. So, I'm changing my 1st star. I had it as Oscar.
Okay.
But I wanted to check. He did not gain, did not lose, but I still think, given the race he had, He got a point. I think it's worth it. I'm actually going to give it to Pierre Gasly.
Okay.
Because he did get hit by his teammate.
Did get hit by his teammate.
His teammate got it worse, but he still had damage they had to fix. And he still hung on to the point.
He got the point.
So, Oscar, you saw Driver of the Day. I still think you can be 1.5 star. 1.5 star.
Honorable mention.
Honorable, yeah. But I'm going to swap it to Pierre Gasly for doubling Alpine's points.
He's now
My other mention
now tied with Alex.
Yep. And tied with his teammate. But another honorable mention too, of course, my boy Yuki for another 2 points, 3 points, 4 points, 4 points.
I don't know how the point system works.
It's one.
I know 10th gets 1 point, and I know first gets 25 points, and somewhere in there.
I mean, this might help with your rundown, but you finished P8, right?
Yuki finished P8.
Yes, so that is 4 points.
Woo!
That's a perfect point. Where did everybody else finish?
Where did everyone else
right
finish?
To the rundown.
Well, if you watched qualifying, that's where the top 10 finished. So, Charles Leclerc finished first.
Well,
Musker.
I guess not even if you watch qualifying. If you watch qualifying and then stayed the extra 4 hours for the DNF.
Oh,
stuff,
yeah, for the DSQ,
stuff.
yeah. So, if you saw the starting grid, you saw the finishing grid for the top 10. Charles Leclerc, P1, started P1. Oscar Piastri Leclerc started P2, finished P2.
Woo.
Carlos Sainz, again, top 10, started in the position that they got. So no points gained or lost in the top 10. Carlos Sainz in P3, Lando Norris in P4, George Russell in P5, Max Verstappen in P6, Lewis Hamilton, wow, that was a name that I shouldn't be forgetting. We are now canceled by Team LH, if we weren't already.
No, yeah.
Lewis Hamilton, P7, also of note, got the fastest lap, so extra point for him. Everyone from here on out is at least 1 lap down. P8 was Yuki Tsunoda. P9 was Alex Albon. And P10 was Pierre Gasly to round out the points. Now, everyone from this point on is 2 laps down. Fernando Alonso finished P11 and gained 3 positions.
It's not bad. Still in Spain without the S.
Right. Denny Rick finished P12, did not gain or lose any. Valtteri Bottas finished P13, gained 4 positions. Lance Stroll, again, so finished P14, somehow lost a position, even though we saw him overtake. Am I going crazy, or was this the race where he had the puncture, or is that something else that I remember? Okay.
Because he lost the tire.
At the pit lane.
And there was the one pit marshal who was like, could have just probably grabbed it, but couldn't.
Reached over the wall. Those things are probably very, very... Actually, yeah. I know those things are very heavy. I've done the Red Bull Pit Stop Challenge. Those things are heavy. Even if it's just the tire itself. Yeah. I was like, yeah, fair enough to him. He probably didn't want to throw out his back. Lost a position. Finished P14. Logan Sargent, P15, gained or lost 0. Zhou Guanyu finished P16, gained 2 spots. And everyone here is DNF'd. So, P17, Esteban Ocon, who made it a little bit further up the road than everybody else, retired after his crash with Gasly. Lost 6 positions. He crashed and couldn't get it repaired quick enough, so meh. P18 is Nico Hülkenberg by about 10 meters. DNF'd after his crash with Checo and K-Mag, gained 1 position technically. Checo in P19 also DNF'd with his crash with K-Mag and Nico, lost 3 positions, and K-Mag DNF'd after his crash with Checo and Nico. P20 gained or lost 0 places.
Man. What a race. Also, I did want to bring this up. During the cleanup of the incident, Martin Brundle had, this is the quote here, single seaters are only one person by nature. Thought it was a good fucking...
Why is Martin Brundle turning into Will Buxton?
Yeah, that is such a Buxton thing to say.
To finish the race, first you have to start.
First. Oh, man. Yeah, what it was. It's over now, I guess.
Yeah, no more Monaco for another year.
Woo.
Woo!
And we get a week off, and then Montreal. Kind of the Canucks, even all the Canadians, really. Cause
I was about to say, I was like, that's Vancouver. Montreal. I hear that the name will come to me in a second. I hear that Penelope Scott won't make it there. It's a song.
Okay.
She's a song that's Montreal, and the line is, and I won't make it to Montreal.
Oh.
Yeah. Penelope Scott fans, woo!
Yes. Yep, on the Montreal island of... we had the debate about how to pronunciate.
I mean, again, it probably is Gilles, but I've always heard it just like Gilles. Gilles Villeneuve.
Gilles Villeneuve.
Someone, I think it was either the hockey guy or someone else, kept pronouncing the name Villeneuve weird. No, I think it was one of the broadcasters that we were watching. They kept pronouncing the name Villeneuve weird, and I was like, that is not how you pronounce that at all. I think it was like Villeneuve. And I was like, no.
I think it was hockey guy, actually, because I think there was an old Montreal Canadian named Villeneuve. I'll call my mom, the former French major. So she'll tell us how to pronounce it. I'm going to wrap it there because it is kind of late. It's 40 minutes on a not very exciting race, but hey, it's rambling. That's what podcasts are.
Woo!
Yeah, that's it. I can't think of anything else.
Yeah. You know, it's always nice. It's always nice hearing the Monegasque
the
national
live.
anthem. It's also, the live as well. Like, this is the one race where they actually have a live band doing it. It's great. Just though, in general, nice hearing the Monegasque national anthem, and always lovely hearing the Italian national anthem. Da 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 da. I'm so mad that I had that, and then I tried to adjust one thing, and then it basically got rid of the whole thing. Yeah, I crashed it, and I hadn't saved it, and I felt so bad. And then
your computer exploded.
And then my computer exploded.
That's what
on
it
itself.
was. The disrespect.
Oh man, that's what killed my computer. Oh,
it was an Italian manufactured RAM disk you had, or a RAM disk. Jesus Christ! Fucking flash NAND. Okay. I need to show that.
Solid state.
Yep. Anyway.
Here's the thing. He's the computer guy. Well, he infinitely knows more about computers than I do. Like, I know some basics, but he knows a lot more than I do, and he's the one sitting here fumbling over the words. It is late, though, so.
It is late. I don't know. It's also a long weekend, except not for... Well, I still have to work tomorrow. It's your normal day off.
It's my normal day off.
You would still have to work anyway, so.
Yeah.
Happy Memorial Day, I guess. Woo. Here in the States.
Oh.
Oh.
Editor's note. We still have Ryan Hall, y'all, on our TV watching for the weather down in, like, Tennessee, Kentucky, all that good stuff. There was just an image of an entire large branch of a tree through someone's home. In case you people overseas, Brits and Frenchmen and all that, in case y'all think, it's just a bit of wind, nothing. We had to deal with missiles made out of wood. Fuck you.
Wow. Yeah, you guys get your fancy metal missiles, Fancy Pants Rich McGee over here. We just get trees thrown at us at 165 miles an hour plus.
Yeah.
That's probably going to be enough to be rating there. Anyway, all right, enough tornado talk. That's the other podcast premiering this fall.
That's going to be the third podcast.
Yep. All right, now we'll end it for sure.
Follow the pod everywhere at DSQ Pod. And follow the crew at Medic50 and at GoaluCody30.